Right, today is Sunday, February 19, 2023. We just put in about 12 man hours on this thing, and we got the shell or the quarters down to bare metal. So a couple surprises, not much though. We got a little bit of action right there. Outside of that, there's a couple that popped up on the rockers. But outside of that, that's it. So we used a few different methods to do this. I fixed the oil canning on here. I used a shrinking disc for the first time, and I'm really surprised with that. So what we used was the blue conditioning discs and some 36 grit and some 80 grit on the Rolox. Some stubborn areas we used 120 grit on the flat Tiger disc, and then I also used a spot blaster. These are the conditioning discs. This one's pretty well used. Spot blaster I got on Amazon, works really good. And wire wheel around the snap trim for the stainless, wire wheeled that. And then once we got all the paint off, it was original paint. Once we got all that off, then we DA'd the whole thing with 80 grit. So I mixed up 40 ounces of epoxy right now. So I'm gonna push this thing in, wipe it down, and get it in epoxy. So I'll bring you guys back. All right, so here we are. I mixed up 40 ounces of epoxy, 1-to-1. It's been marinating for about an hour or so. We just wiped down the car with the waterborne wax and grease remover. Almost out. SPI. We used some, I actually upgraded to some professional grade wipes. I'll attach a picture of those. And so we wiped this thing down. It took quite a bit. It took about 10 wipes in about 30 minutes, 2 people, to get this thing clean to where you can wipe it with the rag and there's no dirt or residue. So I just blew it off. They say you're supposed to wait about 30 minutes when you're using this waterborne wax and grease, just to, I guess, let it evaporate. But blowing it with the air kind of speeds up the process. We're gonna let it sit for another 15 minutes. It's ideal temperature, 77, 51% humidity. So that's why we did this today. It's been a long time coming. Still plenty of work, but this is, at least it's gonna be all in one color. So I'll bring you guys back once I get set up and start spraying. All right, here we are, 40 ounces later. I tried to record while I was spraying, but my little tripod wasn't acting right, so didn't record spraying. But as you guys watch the channel, it's just SPI epoxy, 1-to-1, 1.4 tip, 25 PSI, 2.5 turns on the fluid or so, and straight to it. The 40 ounces gave me 3 coats where it counts and 2 in the jams. So now that the thing is all one color, you can see all the ripples and bodywork that it's going to need. The fin that we actually replaced looks like it doesn't need much. The quarter panel has a crease that I didn't realize going down the side there. But this is where we replaced, actually, driver's side. We replaced the whole section, mainly to get this peak. And I'm really glad we did that. I'm real happy, and it's all downhill from here for me. I can already see this car, what it needs. I think we're going to end up probably doing a little patchwork here. This quarter is a little A little more wavy up top. A lot more wavy. But this area is not bad. And this side is the original peak. So on this side, all we replaced was the bottom down. From, you can see the seam right there. Same on the rear. I did rebuild the hinges. So hinges have new pins and bushings. I put them back in. So as the car sits now, it's completely in epoxy. I'm gonna let this sit for a couple days. Probably turn my little space heater on that I usually do. That way it's nice and toasty. And start body work. I mean, some areas I'm gonna try and hammer out and finesse out. Other areas it's just gonna take filler. I mean, like this area right here, I'm not too proud of that, but I mean, I don't know what to say about that. But overall, it's not bad. I did spread a little all metal around the dash. That was a couple weeks ago. But so this is a big stepping stone for the car. I mean, when I bought this car, it was missing the bottom half. Half of the floor was gone. And a couple braces were gone. So it's been about, I don't even know, about a year and a couple months. And we're finally going to get into the bodywork stage. Looking forward to it. Overall, it's not that bad, really. And then also you got to factor in, I have the cruiser skirts, which I mean, I'm gonna block this down like as if it didn't have skirts, but I have cruiser skirts for it, so it's gonna cover up all these seams. So pretty excited about it. Like I say, a little bit of work up front on the driver's side rocker and this area. That's not that bad. I mean, if I would have had the sandblaster do it, he would have went to town on that, and it would have been a lot worse. And then I'd have been looking for a section. But I think we might be able to maybe weld that up, or I don't know. We're gonna see. Main thing is, it's an epoxy. It can sit. It's not gonna rust. It can sit forever. But it's the first step. Like I say, we used the waterborne wax and grease remover, as you guys seen previously, and ready to go. So I'm going to be getting back on this here probably on Sundays and throughout the week. Saturdays is kind of tied up to other stuff, but hope you guys enjoy this update here. Stay tuned for more work. Thanks for watching.